The Satellite Accelerator is a hand control system designed and manufactured by Fadiel in Italy, first developed in 1999, and enables us to get two hands back on the wheel while driving. We've got two versions of the Satellite. We've got the corded version as well as the wireless version. Corded works exactly the same throttle trigger, same hand mechanism, no battery, no wireless receiver, so it's narrower, actually identical to operate. With the wireless Satellite Accelerator, we do need to turn the unit on when we get into the vehicle and then engage the brake lever in order to drive away. When we get out of the vehicle, there is no need to turn the wireless satellite off. It will turn off automatically. The current wireless Satellite Accelerator offers 35 hours of runtime on one charge and can easily be charged either on the run or just while left in the vehicle. When the battery is going low on the satellite, we're provided notification by a constantly flashing red light and also an acoustic alarm, and that beep becomes continually more frequent. In the event that we were to have a malfunction of the wireless system, we have an emergency cable that we can connect and ensure that we still have a working throttle. We've got an articulated joint so that we can adjust the positioning of the thumb trigger. We want it to be neutral so that we're not creating any stress on the joint. This acts as a guard to the steering wheel. So when I've got my hand on the wheel, the guard here protects the accelerator trigger. I can still attain full throttle while I have the hand securely on the wheel. Spring-loaded hand bracket. We also have larger brackets and different rubbers to customize it to the user's hand size. We've got three steering techniques we can use with the Satellite Accelerator. We can do push-pull, hand over hand, and while on the brake lever, palming maneuver for that slow speed parking. When learning to drive with the Satellite Accelerator, we do need to preempt our hand placement, so pre-plan our hand placement. If we're coming up to a left-hander, we actually will bring our hand around from the 10 o'clock position around to the 3 position, and that way if we're swinging then around to the left, we can get quite a significant rotation on the wheel while at the same time maintaining the other hand on the brake. Corded works exactly the same, actually identical to operate. With two hands on the wheel, I've got far better feel what the actual vehicle's doing, and at the same time I've obviously got the shoulders in alignment, so I'm reducing my shoulder fatigue substantially. The Satellite is an option that should be shown to those who have the physical capabilities, because the long-term benefit that can come from two-handed driving, more competent, safe feel. It does take a little bit more time, obviously because of the preempting of some of those corner manoeuvres. That additional investment in learning is well worthwhile. So we do encourage the driving instructors to show the clients those options as far as the Satellite.
The Satellite Accelerator is more suited for people who fatigue easily. Particularly from my experience, clients that have MS is a good example. Over the years, before we had the Satellite Accelerator, they would be more restricted to using the basic hand control and steering aid, and they would fatigue quite easily with that steering aid over time, so they might restrict their driving to half an hour at the most. The advantage of the Satellite Accelerator is again using the two hands on the wheel, and it was far less fatiguing.
I went from using a standard push-pull control to their satellite control, and it's made all the difference. I think as an athlete, as a person who uses a chair, the fatigue on shoulders for me was actually quite significant, and so the change to satellite control has been huge. I love driving. I have to go between so many things in a day, and so just the independence of that, just getting in my car and being able to do that is honestly huge, and I love it.
Shall we go for a drive? So when I first started driving using the satellite hand controls, the things that I noticed the most was the fact that I didn't feel like I was getting this fatigue driving. So not so much the, if I did a long drive, getting tired, but more about physical fatigue of the arm. I also found that I was able to have a bit more control over the steering wheel because I could have two hands on the steering wheel at one time, which I found a lot easier, particularly if I was going around corners or if I was going on a windy road or if it was windy.
You're not having that stress of having to either hold it on the whole time or on and off, on and off. And I used to get elbow pain, shoulder pain, and a sore neck. It's the one time I'm not disabled. It's the one time where people don't treat me differently. I can keep both hands on the wheel, keep myself in a better seating position, and it's just nice and easy to use with your thumb.
6 or 7 years ago, I met Paul Crate from TOTALABILITY. He put it on and drove around. He just showed me the freedom that he had with his hands on the wheel. And just observing it, I could see how it was the closest possible way of driving a car normally again, with the two hands on the wheel and just one hand operating the brake.
When you get the feel of the Satellite, you've got that practical understanding, then and only then quite often do you truly understand how beneficial and life-changing it can be for a person with a disability driving a motor vehicle.